Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, released his new music video and song this weekend, This Is America, and people are very excited about it. There's a lot of symbolism and commentary that we're gonna get into now. Now, we can't show you the video because of copyright, but we're gonna show you some screenshots and go into some of the most pertinent and important symbolism that is present in this video. So the first image is of him shooting this man here. And what's interesting is in the beginning, he starts dancing, right? And some of his dancing is very exaggerated. Some are saying that it is a caricature of a character. A lot of people are saying that it resembles Jim Crow, and you can see that image now, where he is being compared in that way. You can see a lot of even the stance is very similar there. And so he's in this stance while he shoots this man. Nothing happens. He gives the gun to somebody. They take it in a red cloth. They're treating the gun very nicely. And then the man is sort of dragged away. So a lot of people are saying that that's like a commentary on gun violence in America, how we really put guns on a pedestal before human life. And I think we have seen that time and time again. And that's really Donald Glover's commentary on this.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a brilliant video and an excellent political commentary, social commentary on America. It's not an accident that it's called "This Is America,"
right?
And so first of all, I want to end the debate as to if he meant it. Of course, he meant it. So when he shoots the guy, nobody cares about the guy, but then they care about the gun and they treat it so gently. That's obviously a statement on the current state of America. His exaggerated dance moves are an obvious reference to how America views blacks historically as entertainers and are happy to have them entertain them, but their actual bodies, their dead bodies, are less relevant and don't get the attention. And he really emphasized that throughout the video.
Yeah, you can see that a lot throughout the video because a lot of what he's doing these very popular dance moves that were made popular by people within the black community. And he's doing that at the forefront while in the background, so much is going on. So we can go straight to TA-72 where you can see him dancing around where all of this violence, there's a police car, all of this craziness is going on in the background, which is really, to your point, Jang, talking about how we're happy to elevate black entertainers. We're happy to appreciate black culture and appreciate black music. But then when it comes to violence against black people, nobody really cares. Everybody's focusing on what's on the forefront. And that's very problematic in our country, and that this is America.
Yeah, and so the dichotomy of how we treat black entertainers versus the far more common African-American experience in this country is what he's pointing out again in a way that I think is amazing, saying like the real problems are in the background and no one cares. And in fact, they'll actively fight against it and fight against fixing it. But as long as you're dancing in front of people and entertaining them, they're like, okay, that's good, we like that. And then of course there's the Charleston reference.
Yeah, so where you can see this real back and forth in the video between joy and pain. And so there's these, choir members, you think they're just singing the chorus. He comes in with what looks like some sort of semi-automatic weapon and he's dancing and then just shoots them all without even blinking an eye. Keeps on dancing the bodies are left just to remain there, whereas the gun again is taken carefully away from him and he remains untouched, unscathed, which is, similar to what happened in the 2015 Charleston shooting, where this man just went in, shot up a church. He was not treated, he obviously went to jail, but was not treated forcibly or anything like that.
So the famous story about how they treated the Charleston shooter was that cops, once they arrested him, took him to a Burger King and got him a meal. And so that got under a lot of people's skin very understandably. And so people said, well, a choir, and is that over the top? No, the Charleston shooting happened at a church, at a Bible study. They were at a Bible study, they were at a church. It was a joyous moment. Guy came in, murders them, and walks out, and then the cops give him Burger King. And so, of course, it's a reference to that, and well done again.
Yeah.
And part of the meta symbolism here is he's saying if all you're going to do is focus on us singing and entertaining you, well, then I'm going to put it in the song and I'm going to put it in the video. Perfect. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, everything in this video is so genius. Even the next part, he has, he says, this is a celly, that's a tool. Okay, and so that's a reference to Stephon Clark, but also the fact that people are now using cell phones to really document what is happening within the Black community, especially police brutality against them. And it's so great that he talks about that. You can use this as a tool, and I love that he does that. And then the last scene is him running through this extremely dark hallway with his eyes bulging, and many are saying that that's a reference to The Sunken Place, a reference back to Get Out.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in this video, but it is genius. I mean, all the symbolism is there, and I mean, I watched it at least 5 times, and every time I felt like I noticed something different and something new, and I'm probably missing still half of the symbolism that he put into this.
Yeah, I am too, and I hope one day he explains it all, or maybe he doesn't and leaves it as a work of art. But so the Stephon Clark, of course, was shot by the cops in his own backyard. He had a cell phone, and the cops said they shot him because they were worried that it was a tool. And so they thought it was a tool that he was using to break into cars. It turns out, no, it was a cell phone, and he did not have any weapon at all. And I don't know if it's a reference to The Sunken Place when he's running out, or just a commentary on African Americans running from the police. And oftentimes people will say, why were they running in the first place? And after you've seen all the carnage in the video, who in their right mind wouldn't run?
Yeah.
Right? So either way, incredibly well put together, and it had this funny effect on me. So his series Atlanta is really well received. It's got a ton of great reviews from critics, etc. But I just, like, it's hard to keep up with all the shows and stuff. But after watching this video, I'm like, no, that's it. I'm going to go back and watch Atlanta.
I believe it's
guy
the same director. I believe it's the same director who did both of them. Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. He's so multi-talented, and there's so many things in this video. Another aspect, one thing I want to bring up is he has the white horse and with the cloaked henchman on it, which is a reference to the apocalypse. And he's saying, "This is America," and that's kind of how I feel every day. But I can't even imagine for the Black community that is going through all of this. Just constant violence and just disrespect by our country.
Yeah, and it's apparently the first horse of the apocalypse, and it's in the background while he's still dancing. And everybody's paying attention to the dancing while the apocalypse has begun. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.